12:42 right now on the Health Watch today. Recent research suggests a link between dental X-rays and certain brain tumors. Joining us to talk more about this today is Dr. Michael Posner. Dr. Posner, good afternoon to you. Thanks for being here. So last week we talked a little bit about this. You and Rich did actually, and we wanted to talk a little bit more about this recent research that suggests a link between these dental X-rays and some types of tumors. Tell us about that.
Well, yeah, I finally did get to look at the paper and looked at so that I could speak with some authority on it. And it turns out that there was a paper published by the American Cancer Society online, actually, about 8 days ago, and looked at the question of whether a particular form of slow-growing benign brain tumor is more likely to occur in people who have gotten more dental X-rays than the average person. So that the folks who did the study took a group of people who did have the brain tumors and compared them with people who didn't have brain tumors, who were of the same age and didn't have other risk factors for radiation exposure, such as they didn't work in uranium mines, they weren't X-ray technicians, they didn't work in places where X-rays were used, et cetera, or had CAT scans for head injuries, that kind of thing. And they found that the people who had gotten dental X-rays were, the more X-rays you got, the more likely you were to have had one of these relatively rare tumors. Which can be troublesome in a variety of ways. The difficulty is that the reports of how many X-rays people had were gotten from memory of these folks, not from dental records or documented numbers of X-rays. In addition, the dental X-rays that are used now are give you much less exposure to X-ray than they did 20 years ago. And these are tumors that may take 20 or 30 years to show up. So that it's really hard to know whether we're as at much risk now as we might have been 20 years ago. X-rays have been known for, gosh, probably close to a century now to be causative in the development of cancer. And consequently, the real question to ask is, do we need to have as many X-rays of our teeth as we do now?
How do dentists decide who should get X-rays?
Well, they have some guidelines, and they depend on how old you are and how much risk you have of having hidden dental problems that could be prevented and would be worth the exposure. So it's something that dentists do think about and try not to do too many X-rays, but it's a judgment call. You're getting a patient's history, and you find out what the risk is that they could have hidden dental problems. And you look at them and do a physical exam on their teeth and look to see whether they have signs of dental injury, and then decide whether it would be useful to get the X-ray and then do it.
All right, Dr. Posner, thanks for that information today. We appreciate you being here. If you have any questions for Dr. Posner on the subject or any other subject, you can write him to the address that you see there on your screen. Ask the Doctor, WWLP 22 News, or you can log on to our website at WWLP.com.